Calaroga Shark Media.
Hey there, I'm Johnny Mac with your daily comedy news. Katt Williams was on the 7 p.m. in Brooklyn podcast and started talking a little basketball. Katt said, in basketball, I'm 5'5", so there's a whole realm of basketball I can't experience. I don't have any of the above rim experience. On the other hand, I'm not Angel Reese. I'm 99% of in my layups because I can't afford to miss a layup. My layup is my dunk. Host Carmelo Anthony cracked a smile, but knew it was a joke and would not affect his family's relationship with the star of the Chicago Sky, Angel Reese. Stick to sports, okay. Tom Segura says FSU's title-winning touchdown was better than fatherhood. Segura was on the Glory Days, D-A-Z-E podcast, hosted by former quarterback Johnny Manziel. Remember that guy? Segura said, this is one of those things that's going to get me in trouble in a few years. Bert Kreischer, who's an alum, was like, do you want to go to the national championship game? And I go, yeah. We ended up sitting in different sections. He's like, my ticket's over here, yours is over there. So I'm just sitting next to some guy. When Kelvin Benjamin caught that pass, I grabbed the guy's shirt and I started going, it's one of those things where you go, that's what you can't get at home. In a previous interview, Segura had told ESPN, I went to the game and the emotions just took over. I couldn't control myself. Winston drives down the field and throws a touchdown. I punched 3 guys in the face. Punching people in the face is not funny, Johnny Mac. What are you laughing at? Stick to sports, okay. Roy Wood Jr. talked to GQ about the Cubs and some of his favorite Cubs memories. He said, there was Tuffy Rhodes' 3 homers on opening day. That always stands out. Remember that? I remember that. He's like the Barry Bonds of Japan. He's the man. He doesn't pay for anything in Japan. Over here, he's main cabin, middle seat. No one cares. But if I could just watch one baseball home run over and over and over again, it would be the Joe Carter World Series home run. GQ asked about the steroids era. How do we handle that? Roy said, I don't know how you can completely discredit it. It's interesting to see both of those guys post-career, the guys in question are Barry Bonds and A-Rod. I think what Barry started to figure out, that A-Rod figured out sooner, is how much your attitude plays a role, not necessarily being likable, but just being accessible. If I had a vote, I would vote for Barry Bonds and A-Rod. Hall of Fame. I absolutely would. Okay, well, you cheated. You got caught doing something you weren't supposed to do. Fine, but how do we wipe everything off the books? That's the part I think is very difficult. To get into the Hall of Fame, it's not just solely statistics. There's intangibles of likability, just being real. You can't tell me that Barry Bonds and his relationship with the baseball writers over the course of his career will not play a role. The Hall of Fame is like the award shows, where they have a special category basically for the ones we got wrong at the time. I think Barry maybe ends up on that. I met him briefly. By briefly, I mean 20 seconds in Birmingham last year at the Willie Mays game they did with the whole Negro Leagues tribute. The fact that Barry was even, paraphrasing, talking with Derek Jeter and Big Papi, huge. Barry made himself accessible and spoke with people, and I thought it was really cool. I felt like Barry was feeling the love. You can tell he's still excited about the game. He still loves this game. He gave it his heart and soul. He gave us a hell of a show for a long time. I think if you put on a show, there's got to be a space for you somewhere in Cooperstown. Now, if we want to call it the special wing over here, whatever. You got in trouble for steroids a couple times? Put that on the plaque. Stick to sports, Johnny Mac. Okay. Lisa Traeger says her goal every summer is to find a body of water, but I'm not a snob. I'll public pool, I'll hotel, I'll pay for day pass, I'll hang with a friend, I'll bring something, I'll pay for something, but that's always my goal. That's not sports, Johnny Mac. Let me finish the story. Lisa said, also, I haven't gone to a baseball game this summer. That's a goal as well. See, I know what I'm doing. It's not my first daily comedy news. Gabe Iglesias is getting a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Gabe said, I spent my life entertaining on the road, not in Hollywood. I guess someone was watching. This was never a goal or something I thought was possible. The Hollywood Walk of Fame was established in 1960 and has awarded more than 2,800 stars over the last 65 years. Leanne Morgan is excited about her sitcom. She says it's a throwback to the 1990s style comedy, things like Roseanne Barr, Seinfeld, Tim Allen, Drew Carey, Martin Lawrence, Ray Romano. Morgan says, that was my goal, being my age, coming up in stand-up and loving television. That was my dream. Netflix comedy head Tracy Pacosta says, on the stand-up side, we work with best-in-class comedians from all over that reach very different audiences, pointing out they've had success with Shane Gillis's Tires and Wanda Sykes of the Upshaws, and the upcoming Bert Kreischer sitcom Free Bert, Tracy says. And as we all know from back in the day, when these type of shows were more popular and resonated, when you find somebody that has a very specific, authentic voice and makes sense to lean in, and Leanne is absolutely one of those talents. Weird Al played the Garden last weekend. I love Weird Al, but MSG is just too big for me to go. Weird Al is closing in on Billy Joel's record of 150 shows at Madison Square Garden. Al told the crowd, just 149 more and I'll be all tied up with Billy Joel. Al got a little emotional, got serious, told the crowd, oftentimes the really big moments in your life come and go so quickly you can't really enjoy them when you're in them. That is very, very true, sir. Consequence says the Bigger and Weirder tour feels like a victory lap. The first third featured only one parody, the opener Tacky, along with style parodies. So yeah, to break down Weird Al, there's the straight up parodies, Eat It, Beat It. There are the style parodies. My favorite is Dog Eat Dog, which is in the style of Talking Heads. And then there are the Weird Al originals, which are also great. So let's see. The first third featured one parody, Tacky, the opener. And then style parodies, the Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young style mission statement. That's good. And They Might Be Giants styled Everything You Know Is Wrong. Oh, yeah, polkas. Polka is a fourth category of Weird Al. Sorry, he did a polka. Then Al dressed up as Kurt Cobain for Smells Like Nirvana. The band put on yellow hazmat suits and red dome hats for Dare to Be Stupid. A medley included Party in the CIA, Ode to a Superhero, Eat It, and Like a Surgeon, Word Crimes, and more. Consequence talks about Al playing fat and writes, something you could never write in 2025. Why not? Can we not make fun of anything? Here are the lyrics. Who's offended? Your butt is wide, while mine is too. Just watch your mouth or I'll sit on you. The word is out, better treat me right, because I'm the king of cellulite. Are you offended yet? Ham on whole wheat, all right. My zippers bust, my buckles break. I'm too much man for you to take. The pavement cracks when I fall down. I've got more chins than Chinatown. Is that the lyric we're going to get offended by? Well, I've never used a phone booth, and I've never seen my toes. When I'm going to the movies, I take up 7 rows because I'm fat. Don't you call me pudgy, portly, or stout. Just tell me once again who's fat. When I walk out to get my mail, it measures on the Richter scale. Down at the beach, I'm a lucky man. I'm the only one who gets a tan. If I have one more pie a la mode, I'm going to need my own zip code. When you're only having seconds, I'm having 23rds. Personally, that's my favorite Weird Al line of any Weird Al line. When I go to get my shoes shined, I got to take their word because I'm fat, really, really fat. A lot of lyrics to this. And my shadow weighs 42 pounds. Let me tell you once again who's fat. If you see me coming your way, better give me plenty space. If I tell you that I'm hungry, then won't you feed my face because I'm fat? When I sit around the house, I really sit around the house. All by myself from a crowd. Let me tell you once again, I'm fat. And the whole world knows I'm fat and I'm proud. Just tell me once again, who's fat? Who's getting offended there? Are people of Chinese ancestry getting offended at the Chinatown line? Is that why we couldn't write that in 2025? Consequence writes, with the lack of anything from UHF felt odd, there was the extra cover of Paul Simon's You Can Call Me Al, continuing Al's recent tradition of sticking unironic covers in the middle of his sets. Things closed out with eBay, White and Nerdy, and Amish Paradise, the encore of We All Have Cell Phones. Sounds like it was a great show. At the Montreal Comedy Festival today, 3 French language shows at 3 o'clock. Wow. 5 o'clock, Sunday Night Improv. Also at 5, Roast Battle Canada, the Nightly Culture Show at 7. JFL live sessions at 7. Usually those are album tapings. There's a lot of stuff for a Sunday. Roast Battle Canada again at 8 o'clock. Derek Seguin at 8:30. Life of Leisure is the name of that show. The Nightly Nasty Show at 9:30. Roast Battle Canada again at 10:30. And Midnight Surprise at midnight. All right. If we were there, I guess we do improv at 5. Derek Seguin at 8:30, and we go to the late roast battle, and then you can do the midnight show by yourself. 3 shows is enough for me in a night, and I will be looking for bed. Cameron Diaz is back into comedy. She's a starring role in the upcoming action comedy Bad Day. Cameron Diaz will star as a single mom fighting to keep one little promise to her daughter on the absolute worst day of her life. And since it's a Sunday, I like doing quirky stuff. The LA Daily News looked at the 6 best things they ate at the Belly Laughs Comedy and Food Festival last weekend during that fest, which featured over 20 restaurants showcasing some of the best Asian cuisine around LA. This has nothing to do with comedy other than it was the Comedy and Food Festival. This is just food. The comedians included Hassan Minhaj, Kumail Nanjiani, and Margaret Cho. The LA Daily News liked the Brianna Kebab House's chicken tikka masala with rice and samosa. They tell us the chicken was marinated in a bright creamy tomato sauce that was sweet but had a spicy kick. Each bite paired perfectly with the rice. People apparently were buzzing about the Kanamwan Thai Gelato and Dessert Cafe's Mango Sticky Rice Sundae. The Sticky Rice Sundae sold out within 2 hours on the first day. The LA Daily News says the hype was well earned. They take a traditional mango sticky rice dessert with coconut, sticky rice, white rice with dark ripe mangoes and elevates it. They also liked the Bopomofo Cafe's beef noodle sandwich, which combines elements of beef noodle soup and a French dip. It consists of a homemade Chinese braised beef shank stacked on a toasted with melted Havarti and crispy green onions. The LA Daily News says, let me tell you, it was love at first dip. Also getting a good review, the Hermanos Empanadas, the jalapeno cheese empanada. One bite in, and my eyes turned to cartoon hearts. The cheese was perfectly melted, and the jalapeno added just the right amount of kick. Julie Modern's K-popcorn chicken had a crispy texture on the outside and didn't lose its flavor in the deep fry. Once you get into the outer coat, the chicken inside was a juicy reveal of even more flavor. And Chef Tue Vietnamese tiramisu. The base layer was made of Biscoff cookies, combined with a pasteurized egg batter, condensed milk, ladyfingers soaked in slow Vietnamese coffee, and dusted with cocoa powder. A decadent dessert heaven. That festival sounds really awesome. And that is your comedy and food news on a Sunday. See you tomorrow.